favor, but sometimes being brought in. Now we're in tank picking, and there it is. Actually surprised a little bit that double 277 is picked right at the beginning, because I would have thought you would pick the double CS at the beginning.
What if they're not picking CSs? What if they're
Then I guess.
What if they're
not bringing mediums at all?
705As? No play.
Because that's Burbo. Burbo's already brought the 705A, as you can see there at the bottom of your screen. Double CS Cron and 705A. So again, reminder, guys, this is a best of 9 in the playoffs. The winner of this is will be the first finalist, but it is double elimination. So the loser will still have a chance to play again on Friday for a chance to basically do a rematch. One of these teams will be in the finals for sure. And there's the double CS. And 50B from Flare. And we saw them bring it before as well. And there's a bat. Okay. We got a bat from each team. I don't know. I just don't want to be the bat player. I used to always love being the bat player on Cliff. But right now, I don't want to. So much focus and details on your shots, making them count. And if you can't, you're in a lot of trouble. So here we go. Tied 3-3, and as Smiley pointed out, every map has been 1-1. No one's been getting the better of their opponents on both sides yet. Kenway in his Kronwagen, I don't think he's played around not in the Kronwagen on Cliff, now that I think about it. Maybe once. And Bloop will be in the 50B. Externals in the batch at Dark and Onion in the CSs. Smiley, your boy's not going up to the middle. Kenway's going to 2-line.
He's going to try to get the shots when they're going up the hill. I don't know if he'll be there fast enough though. Like, what is he going to try to be, the 50B?
Yeah, we saw Kronwagens used down there before and actually work out, but against the problem is not fast enough to shoot the CSs. Oh, they're just going to converge.
From both sides play.
They're converging. Meanwhile, the 277s and the bat are coming in as well for Flare. The 50B will be there in time to dump a clip on this I7 Kron as they come up behind. Oh, but the Blue is taking a lot of damage getting into position. I don't think he made too many shots count. I think he only made 2. Or was it 3? Muscles is the first to go down to Onion. There's a whole brawl up here.
And it looks like this Darkus is going to go down here.
Burbo down HP and guns, but now their big boys have arrived and they're focusing fire really well. Dodo and Onion here, but they get Octo. Nexus as well is arriving. Bloop is coming for his second clip, and it should be pretty much GG for Burbo. Kenway flees in terror. Dodo thinks about it and opts not to and says, no, let's just kill OP. That was over really quickly.
Yeah.
So Burbo on proc. Hey, it's the 705A!
That's so toxic.
Maybe part of the problem was they did have a 705A. I don't know how much he was really in the fight in this brawl. Being that kind of slow to get there, that's kind of one of the problems with bringing something like that is if you try to contest Donut with a 705A, it's kind of like, why you can't contest it with a mouse, you have to slow play because they're going to have 6 tanks there while you have 5. And, but Burbo setting high tempo, hyper aggressive defense on proc, going for the shots, the early punish. Flare doing it now on Cliff on their first attack and coming out ahead 4-3. Maybe I spoke too soon, although some of those shots were at the end. December got out 3,100 damage in a kill, so maybe he was his HP wasn't in the fight, but his guns
Skip,
certainly
I don't even think we've ever talked about CS gameplay from him, but 4,185 damage and 5 kills coming out. I don't even know if have we seen him in a CS?
I think once. I think we have. You can see external in the bat, but maybe. I mean, Onion's been playing well since the roster change, and we haven't been focusing on him as much because we were too focused on Dodo Right. With the external again.
You're too.
But Onion's been playing well, especially today. Yeah, my
Mm-hmm.
Dodo, of course. But Onion's been playing well, especially today too. And I think he played well on Monday. And postseason play is so important.
He was a little bit. I mean, he was literally trying to be a pro in Apex, so he was not playing World of Tanks, and then he kind of came back because it didn't work out, sadly. But he looks like he's back and he's not rusty anymore, and he is clapping.
And he still is at least getting practice in Apex doing shooter game things. You know, a lot of times it's you may be a little rusty, but at least you've been playing a shooter.
His aim is insane, so he can get away with that. I mean, that's probably why they put him in a Sturf, because his aim is insane.
And that's kind of the thing playing other games, because like always used to meme on external, because external was very, very good at, for example, like CSGO and things like that as well.
Right.
And, people say, they're not the same game as World of Tanks, and they aren't. But, if you have the skill to just kind of be able to very quickly put your mouse cursor over where you want to shoot your gun, it's a very, very good skill to have. And if any of you at home, then maybe not the best at shooter games, some of these guys are very, very good at it, and they just have, it just lowers their it lowers the, what am I trying to say? It quickens the amount of time that they have. Yeah, quickens the amount of time that they aim good. They put the mouse on the thing. They click the mouse and pull the trigger.
Hello?
Help me, Smiley.
Hello? I'm the one that gets my words mixed up.
I just had trouble. You take it away. What tanks are we gonna see?
We're gonna see Burbo with 2 VZs, a Kron, a Bad Shot, 2 CSs, while Team Flare brings 2 277s, a CS, 2 CSs, a Kron Vagan, and a Bad Shot. So basically the same lineup almost. Wait, actually, I think it is the same exact lineup. Yeah, it is. They were just like.
It is.
They were just.
Wait. The Kron is the only difference for 50B. But yeah, everything else is exactly the same for
Wait,
Flare.
it shows Krons for both sides for me. Am I blind?
No. But Flare brought up 50B instead of a Kron last round. That's the only change.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, and it's VZs instead of 277s. I'm actually blind. Okay. So you can't talk and I'm blind.
I need to save you.
These are the best casters
Who can save
ever.
us? It's the postseason heebie-jeebies.
Postseason casting, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Can Flare seal the deal?
Team Flare has bigger HP. That means auto win.
Now the northern side does not get to the 2 line.
Oh, we're gonna see a 2-line play again. Again, we're gonna see these two facing off the 2 line.
A lot.
Their Team Flare just looking to finish this. We want to 5-3 you. Burbo is going to get OP is going to get absolutely destroyed. He's going to go down. December now looking to cross, because why not make the same mistake?
He doesn't have
Kenway also trying to cross here. Dodo is going to be able to kind of keep them down, and it looks like Burbo just lost this. Team Flare wins 5-3.
They lost it. They're done. It's over. Flare were up 2 guns, and it's just. Although Flare doesn't get there quite in time to be first, they stopped with some of the guns and they just aimed, and Dodo made the play to go across, and the tanks up top hit their shots. They focus fire, and bam, game over. Flare's their first finalist.
And so we were actually talking a little bit about. I mean, that was such a fast game. Nobody even got over the 3K.
Yeah, Dark Ninja came close. Almost 2,800 and 2 kills. External 2K and 2 kills. I mean, he only had 1 clip. Onion 2,400 though, who we were just talking about, no kills, but 2,400. I mean, look at everyone's doing damage. Dodo was the focus, I guess, eventually when he went to the rock, but he still got out 1,400, 3 shots, and didn't die. Kenway got out more than 1 clip. Muscles made his shots count for the most part, it looks like, but. And the VZs made their shots count, but they weren't able to get it out early enough. Major and Octo, I think, got picked too fast, and GG, right?
Yeah, that was so fast, though.
That was a good old-fashioned cliff.
That was a good old-fashioned cliff. Both teams pushed 2 line, but it seemed like that. What it looked like to me is Burbo didn't expect Flare to do another 2 line on defense. Did you notice that?
I thought that they were expecting it. I don't think Flair has not played 2-line in the last like 3 weeks.
But if they were expecting it, why did they just, you know?
I don't think they necessarily played it right. I don't know though. I'm not sure. Because they took the punish going in, and then they took the punish when they got up top, and there was no like ability to share HP, and parts were disjointed. I don't know. But I think it was also just Flair. I don't think missed any shots. I mean, look, Bloop is actually the only one that did not connect a shot. If you look at the accuracy, I mean,
Right.
that tells you a lot right there. So all those initial damage shots, everything was connecting.
True. Whoever has more 100% wins, Epa. And that's it. That's 5-3.
Yeah, it's 5-3.
I think we were talking about how Team Flare has a little bit more experience when it comes to, between these two teams, and I guess it kind of showed. And like didn't you say that before? Actually, you actually had a really good point where you said that like Team Flare has like a lot of big ups and downs, but when they win by such a huge HP difference. I think you're the one that said that. And
I may have.
And those last 2 games were like 4K and 6K. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely correct. You know what I mean? When they win by big.
And then that Himmelsdorf, they lost by a lot. Remember that? To be fair to Burbo, Burbo won by a lot. They started out a lot ahead and they got more ahead. But yeah, it's and still some things to work on, because I think this is the first time in I don't know how long I've actually predicted correctly. It was Flair 5-3, which is what I predicted. But even then, we were saying, just like we've been saying a lot recently, it depends who shows up to play. And Flair just showed up to play,
Right.
especially on Cliff, because that really became, I mean, they were back and forth, and Cliff was just hands down Flair 100%. And actually, here's the post-match stats really quickly for you guys. You can see Onion at the top, and I think I took him off my team. God dang it. And getting 621 fantasy points. That may be an all-time high. That's really high.
That is really
If anyone
high.
picked Onion, good job.
11
External
kills,
and Bloop right
30,
at 420.
Dude, his average was 3,200.
Whew.
That
is a lot.
That's insane.
Muscles, top performer for Burbology.
You could say that. You could
475.
say that Team Flare, if somebody's not bringing the heat, like they have more heaters. You know what I mean? Like, okay, here's what I mean. Like, you'll see Bloop on top. You'll see Dodo on top. You'll see External on top. You'll see Dark on top. You'll see Onion on top. The only person you never see on top is Nexus. He's terrible, right?
Oh,
but I mean, as long as
Nexus is on top because his team is in the finals.
No, I think he actually, remember when he actually was on top for one of these.
He was.
Because he like got into 2 1v1 scenarios. You remember that?
On the proc games in his IS7.
Yeah, and he was
That
doing like
match set.
massive amounts of damage and stuff. It was weird.
Well, Smiley, I think we have to take a very quick break.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes, maybe around that, guys. But we will be back with the next match. So one more tonight. It's going to be Jack is AFK taking on the Tomatitos. Do or die. Loser is going home.
Let's go, Toma. La, ja, 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 ja. Let's go, Toma. Ja,
Show
ja,
your team
ja,
love
ja,
in the chat. We'll talk to you guys in just a few.
All right.